I'd like a terminal paradise, and maybe so I don't sing. I think I agree with this thought, like an internal kind of safe reminder of fear boundaries, like in a healthy kind of museum sense, like Brick Museum sense, or um, Pacific Science Center in Seattle, Washington, going forward, and like Amazon Prime videos, but all like TVMA, kids 14 plus. Hey guys, so yeah, I'm showing what is acceptable here. Um, this is kind of my normal thing to do. I like doing things that are kind of, not necessarily like I'm always trying to have fun, but like have it in a safe way, and like, that's pretty much it. But yeah, so. This is kind of the living brand of my YouTube channel, and company that I learned from my dad and mom, Mickey and Mary Ross. They started off of a franchise. I think it was one of the best franchises in the 1980s or so. And so I was born May 12th, 1992. It's 2026. And so I've been thinking of kind of in an earth way, things to help people like in a apartment memory care kind of visit to a checkup or something in a futuristic kind of brand way of my brand as a person. And I'm trying to start a cafe, which is very popular in Seattle, where I grew up most of my life, but spent a percentage of my life in California, some in Virginia. My dad is from a diverse background, as well as my mom. I'm about kind of a lightish brown skin tone, So anyway, I want to start, I've been wanting to start filming myself for the longest, Now, I know a lot of people kind of are weary of cameras because it's kind of like the progression of new technology now these days. At least that's the stigma I've had, but there are different levels of, goodness, of God's goodness, or whatever your interpretation of nature is, or God. And so, just look at my past library of YouTube videos. You'll see kind of like my religion, belief system, kindness system. So yeah. So this is a vape. And what I'm trying to kind of tell people about that, my updates to my high power, or my teachers or instructors or people, neighbors or whatever, vape is different from, like a cigarette. It's in 2026, and research has shown on well-studied people that, it's the healthy option if you have nothing else, to really lean on for like holistic healing. And so I believe that, I really do. And so, yeah, I'm trying to be like a lot of people on my website, and then a lot of people like sometimes just walking. I do a lot of walking sometimes where, I see advertisements. Some I like a lot. Some, I may not have thought about enough yet. I don't know, some you might not like. So yeah, shout out my legal wife, Shadrika Ross, past close people I've known as well, boys and girls and men and women, so yeah, I just left like a Microsoft Cafe We Day type of thing, that I first went to in around 2015-ish, but I left pretty quickly, which may be a cool question to figure out in the future, so yeah. Yeah, I believe one of my higher powers, I think I just heard the higher power right now say, like, I think one of my higher powers is an Asian, kind of skin tone and body, which brings up a lot of questions, about, cool things if you ever like to talk and, eat different plants or, walk different places, And ni hao to all my, Chinese maybe visitors. I'm on YouTube right now. This is WASHYE Church Online, but don't be confused by the word church. It is kind of a, there's a Bible. Excuse me, a museum in Washington D.C. that's really good, and there's another one here, in Seattle that we're looking to, kind of do here, and so yeah. Hold on just a second. I'm trying to say, like, Chinese, I'm really interested in like creating your religion, one great YouTube channel that I watch is Church of Almighty God YouTube channel, which is like, it's a different religion, dude. It really is, but it's a cool one. Like their movies are like probably the best action religion movie if you're like kind of a legal, kind of non-legal, kind of partier, kind of lifestyle, So ni hao everyone, and then I want to say yi jiao bin Ross. So yeah, and then I'm trying to practice some ASL here. Thank you. I think that's thank you in sign language. So, it could be like a new Hello 2026 or something. I got two new AI phones, these are the phones where AI is like built in a video that I watched in the past. They said like some of them can be like, made with the highest, possible metals now. And I think I have both of them now. And so, yeah, but I really do want an Apple Watch, Ultra, from Apple District, U District, I want that watch, I saw it there. I did. So anyway, I'm trying to introduce myself to people. So yeah, I was at Jack Sprat. This cafe right here, yo, is so dope. So yeah. This thing's saying, dude? What is this phone saying? Wow, wow. Too eager. This phone is just, you ever think about things being alive, Well, they are. And I'm one of the believers that think the earth is alive. And these AI phones are dope, yo. Best Buy, yo, 2026, 2025, yo. Just buy it. Buy it all if you can. Like anything you see right there, you know? I wonder if you can switch. Wow, okay, cool. So definitely not, I don't know, making sure I can see something. Like, how do you connect these phones? And so, yeah. So this is one of the trips that I had. Is sharing this to my teachers, supposed to share with our teachers. So this is one of the trips that I had. I had a trip like kind of like cool like a Marvel movie kind of YouTube thing like Church of Almighty God. You know, like a like inward like Inside Out 2. I watched it with my family near Puyallup. Um, kind of like museum Ant-Man living AI thing, like in a human body trip. Because, I do cannabis sometimes, you know. I read a good Christian book on that, and I just flipped the camera around, you know. So yeah, I enjoy it, So this is the other thing, my company, and this is a really good thing to kind of flip the camera this way, you guys. If you ever want to record yourself, but you're like, okay, why can't the camera see me? Well, if you want to like talk about things that you would like, do alone, but you want to live stream it, if you ever get to the point where you ever want to live stream yourself, you know. I would suggest kind of flipping your phone. You can do that on YouTube, and kind of talking about your, kind of beliefs in this way too. That you would, kind of, share. And so, yeah. So yeah, so my dad's company is Ross Engineering Services. He needs support, like, spiritually, like high powerly, and my mom too, and, his company can pretty much, contract out to just a second, all the materials, and like different things that you'll find on both his website when, again, asking for support right now, money, and, definitely, services to help, get like a cafe going, and all the kind of engineering things that need to be done. Ross Company Engineering Services, I think, are contracted out, set up, but, I don't know, you have to ask him. The last time, even though we talked today, and my mom, we talked today, and my wife, we talked today, it's just, we all need that support, and so I would like money. You'll find that on my Cash App. I'm sure if you get in contact with, Ross Company Engineering Services, that can, be contact information there, Mickey Ross is the, CEO of that company. And so, yeah. So anyway, I've seen a lot of good companies. Amazon is really big in Seattle. All of you guys should at least have heard about Starbucks. It's pretty much everywhere, but I know Amazon is trying to connect the dots. And so here's some scientific kind of stuff that I was thinking, when you talk about Amazon.com, and, all that they sell, and like, kind of like the earth, and I live in Seattle, Washington, and, I just wanted to say that, if you think about kind of some of the things that um, Amazon may be trying to do. I sent an email, it's andy.jesse Amazon.com, I think. Search on the internet or, pray, I guess, through the internet in your own way. If you think like that, I believe, somehow, if you just kind of let the earth kind of, build, I don't know. I really believe that, in kind of a weird way, Amazon should sort of, I don't know, I sent them an email while I was working a different job. I think I was working, what job was it? No, it was, I think it was HopeLink, but it was like the green and yellow bus. Um, the green and yellow bus, and I was driving. So, so anyway, I was driving, and it was a legit bus. So anyway, I have a resume. There's literally like, I'm so easy to find online. But my YouTube channel says only 4,000 subs. You know, just some days. You wonder, because I bought subs. But they're real people. That's what I'm saying. This is some science stuff, okay? Because I went through this Indian, wow, the light just turned on by itself, by itself. I'm telling you. I went through this Indian, purchaser, And so I bought those. I bought those YouTube subs. And so I think it's like real, a real subscriber. But someone out there says, no, it's not a real subscriber. And so I just bless that thought, because no, money means something. And what I'm trying to tell you about the earth, which I still want to research, I believe Amazon should, start. I sent them an email, but while I was working, on the bus, and then I took a break, I went for a walk. I swear, dude. I'm not mad about it. I'm not. But they just, they were robots right there, measuring, I'm not saying they were following me. I'm not saying. But, anyway, I just believe that, the email that I sent them about 2 days ago, I really believe that, it's a reasonable amount of cash. It's just a reasonable amount. I sent them my account number, and my routing number. And then I told my parents, I told them that I was sending money, And then I've been sending Bobby in cash, cash. That's fine. Cool. Okay, here we go. Wow. Okay. Gotcha Queen 1000. Number one. Hi. Oh man, the Prime. I was about to walk through the. I was about to go by Prime. Benjamin Ross, rocking right now. Right now. I'm barely too. Yeah. What does that mean, yo? I'm in shopping paradise. There's a Tesla, dude. Well, right now I'm in apartment paradise. Yeah, Capella. Okay, cool. The Amazon Prime turned around. Cool. Just in case, yeah. Okay, Honda, kind of Pilot, CE 0593. Dude, DOG, Prime V. Right, cool. This is a good trip. The YMCA. And then maybe upgrade downhill a little bit. YWCA. And then Nightingale. Be in like a nightclub, you know, because in my Christian high school, I went to nightclubs, yo. Yeah, teen nightclubs. It was dope. Yeah, and they have them on cruise ships too. You know, I went there with my cousin. It was dope. So dope. We were in the pool too. You know, crazy women, yo. You know, it's just so good. So beauties, just beauties. That was my mindset back then. You know, I'm married now. Yeah. Back to government gossip, yo. You know? Well, just, you know, someone needs to say that we're not in a, you know, government shutdown. No government shutdown, you know? But, you know, there's these things going on. Okay, I'll switch my camera then. Alright. And Ross, just switch my camera. Now I see my face. I'm looking outside. I Capella, and then there's Ross parking right there. There's two guys to my left, and one guy to my right. I'll follow him. And then there is the tree of the knowledge of good and evil right there. Still see you. Hi. I like these others. You know, they look different. Yeah, hi. No, I'm not saying bye in my telepathic either, you know, so, I'm just saying, I have my mask on, I'm saying hi, and I was talking to the trees right here, so yeah, yep, I'm still homeless, sir. I'm not messing with you. I'm not in an angry way or anything, because you asked me the other day, you're like, okay, have you eaten? And I was like, no, sir, I haven't. And by the tone of your voice, you know, it sounded like you were really asking, like, in a serious manner, like, you know, hey, what's up? Like, you know, maybe I missed you, because I did ask you earlier. And so, and not in an embarrassing way, because I don't condemn, you know. But I'm just saying, you know, it's really me, Ben Ross, you know. And so it is really 2026, you know. And so I'm still homeless, you know. If I'm counting on my higher power, you know, I have, if I have the money, you know, if I have the money, you know, I can afford to live in this shopping paradise.
Dude. Yeah. So anyway, there's Amazon Prime just went by. So anyway, I said today, yo, I was just saying in that bathroom up there, yo, I was like, hey, Amazon, if you just hire people, and put like packages on them, and like, I could be talking to the Amazon of the earth, by the way, great transformer vault, danger, high voltage, authorized personnel only sign right there. Wow. Great VV West. Okay. West Management. 805wm.com. Dude, I bought that Jeep right there, Shuttle 507 Microsoft. I bought that Jeep right there, CMR0154. In 2024. So, yeah, anyway. Hi. Hello. Nice to meet you. Hi. Ben Ross. 2026. Ben Ross. Hi. So, yeah. I was saying, if I had money, I asked Amazon for $300,000 for my, there's Amazon Prime right there, 627840. I asked him for $300,000 for my email. I would like cash, please, and I would also like it to my phone, because split between the $300,000, just because APEDE29 Amazon Prime, and then license plate DO8165F, every state, every Washington, and that's Mount Rainier's, license image, but it's Washington, like Seattle, Washington. So anyway, I'm looking for an apartment. Great Tesla symbol with the, oh, cool, like a Santa hat. Yeah, awesome. Yeah. So this could be a form of a higher power right here. What do you believe? I gotta switch the camera. Wow. Yeah, so there's the Ava apartments. I'm in Redmond, Washington. It's about probably 30 minutes drive from Seattle, Washington. You still need gloves and a good jacket on, pretty much about 60 to 70% of the time in Washington, and it's 2026, so yeah, unless you're acclimating, like I think people do that still, no, I said, I didn't say do I said people do that still, Ben Ross, I love the Honda Kona for me and my family, the 2027, please. And there's a Genesis going by to my left, and a Hyundai to my right. Both me and my wife, right there, dude. Both cars that I wanted, and there's a Honda Mini. So I want the Hyundai Kona. I feel like that would be the most equal, thing that I'd like in payment for my services today too. No lottery. I'm completely serious. So yeah, there's a lot of them already out. So I recommend test driving everything. Still Ben Ross here. You know, um, because I have 2 new AI phones. You can get them at Best Buy. You can get them, you know, um, Walmart probably has updates coming, um, but any phone that Walmart has, you can access AI because that is, year 2025, 2026, but I recommend Copilot for Microsoft AI for everything except, if you want Gemini, you want to use it for maybe different time zones or different expressions, like my favorite HGTV shows are Tesla and a Tesla car is going by, beautiful color and just shade on that right there, you know. Why? Hey. Wow, great Amazon, this is what I was, saying to Amazon. Wow, great gold ring there, sir. I was saying to them, sir, I sent Amazon, Ben Ross, I sent Amazon an email asking for 300,000. I sent them my, account number and routing number for the image that I sent them through email, andy.jesse at amazon.com. I sent them an email with the images and everything. And so if you could pass that along, as this,
you say you're asking for 300,000.
Yeah, so
300,000 what? Dollars?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, cash, please.
That's above me. They're not gonna listen.
And digital.
Unfortunately, so I'm not the best bet for that.
Wow, good black ring right there too, sir.
Pardon?
Good black ring right there.
My black ring?
Yeah, that's a nice one, sir, too.
Yeah,
I used to work for Amazon, sir.
Oh, is that true?
Yes, in Puyallup, Washington.
Oh, Puyallup?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. My parents still live there, sir.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and my wife and 2 kids.
Yeah, what are you doing all the way over here?
Well, we want to start a family here in Redmond, Washington.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Not a bad place.
And so I need a way to get into the apartments up above, just 1 or 2 floors.
Oh, well, good luck with that. Even I'm having issues getting into them. Excuse me, I gotta look for it.
Excuse me. Okay. Thank you for, this power share. Because I like power sharing, so you should be already receiving your power share. I literally just saw an Amazon guy go by. And I'm telling you guys, you'll get it all from probably either subscribing. Look, I feel like that's Hannah Montana's like delivery person right there. I feel like that Hannah Montana delivery person right there. For Amazon too, with the logos, the Amazon logos, So anyway. Wow, great looking, wag, the pet, spa. I did a great spa with my brother one time on a cruise. It was great, dude. It was just great. Great outfit on this gentleman right here to the right of me. I like comments, any beauty of God, by me, we're both made in his image, I like compliments on mine, you know, in a neighborly way, you know. I feel like that should be the new silent language of 2026, actually. Because my parents, you know, and pretty much my friends and stuff, we always say hi to each other in some way while we walk by, you know. Especially around like beautiful areas like a track or something, you know. Especially with my personal family too, you know. That's just what we do. Yeah, this is Redmond. That's so stupid. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure I'm still live streaming right now. So I'm trying to catch up to my family in this like daydream type of stuff. I'm on a good trip. So here's what I was about to say. I did a live stream or some YouTube video in Hawaii. So I'm pretty sure it's safe to go to Hawaii. You know, my wife, you know, to Alaska, still has, you know, good seafood, you know, but here's the thing, new air filters, every type of air filter, you know, just put it in the trees, you know, it's COVID still exclusive, bro. This is the bad thing I was gonna say, you know, in Portland, you know, 2025, I went to bed one time, and my wife, yo, that's it. You know, had the vaccine like 3 times, you know? Yeah. But this, I recommend cleaning it, you know? Now, here's the thing, not over cleaning like the homeless or the homeless. Just put in air filters, you know? I recommend buying at Best Buy. They have, you know, the ones that even if you think it doesn't belong there, put it in there. Figure it out, you know? Figure it out. Okay, good. There's a FedEx going over there and an Amazon. You know? This is what I was saying. I hope YouTube still hears me. Great team working on an apartment right there, yo. Just a great apartment angle right there, yo. So anyway, you know, including Mexico, yo. This is what I was saying. Even in the bathroom with my thoughts, you know. You know, I was like, you know, they need to find a way to let the Mexicans in, you know? Because in 2026, that's what the wall, that's kind of like an apartment wall right there, you know? And President Trump, he's the current president. You know, even back from The Apprentice, you know, I used to watch President Trump on TV when he was on The Apprentice, yo. Now he's president twice, you know, and the religions prophesied, you know. And they thought they were wrong, but it skipped one time. You know, it skipped one time. And it was like, no, he really was president. Voted in, you know? Wow, everything's gonna be okay, you know? I should buy a Subaru usually, like just a, you know, redundancy, you know? Like, it's just a redundancy, you know? Redundancies on redundancies, you know? There's the Hyundai, you know, it's Equinox 6, you know? Cool Tesla going by and like a version, you know, of a Toyota. Yeah, so that's a Toyota on my side, Camry, you know, probably a 2025. You know, because you're not like going to the car museum in Tacoma, Washington. They have 2 locations there. You know, a silver location and kind of like a cool kind of like museum style location on the second location. Dude, I had 0 views on the stream outside. Ben Ross, just 0 views, but Gotcha Queen 1000, you know, #1 with the Queen. It says hi. I read that a little while back. I've been live streaming like probably 50 minutes now. Just 50 minutes live streaming, you know? You know, I've been hearing some sounds. I'm on like a vision quest type of thing, you guys. You know? So, anyway, I've been through a lot of therapy, you know, a lot of just, you know, good vibe, you know, question and answer times with my teachers, you know, a lot of Asian food is out here in Seattle, you guys. It's very good. But here's the updates that, you know, I feel like my Asian kind of, you know, Church of Almighty God that have great movies on YouTube. And I think they have them on Amazon too, AmazonPrime.com. You know, I might watch that in a little bit. I'm in Redmond, Washington. But, you know, I grew up watching a lot of, like, with my parents, they did a lot of house hunting on HGTV and in real life because, you know, we just did organized moving, you know, in a way, you know, and especially school districts and stuff. You know, I've been through like kind of atheistic school districts for half of my life, and then religion school districts for the rest of my life, including like library school districts. I worked for a library in Oceanside, California for about, you know, 2 years. You know, I had a associate named Mercedes. Really, you know, great, you know, great, you know, team there. at an Oceanside, California library. Um, I knew a guy at the same high school actually that I went to. I think his family member actually worked there at that library also. I don't know when I knew that, like either before I applied or after, but we definitely kept in contact, afterwards. Um, you know, and so I'm pretty easy to find on social media, you know. Um, Pretty easy, guys. My telephone number is 253-315-2353. My movie choice, guys, if I was dating, it, and like for dating advice and, different things, I would say is, I prefer like definitely curated action, but good King County Metroflex sign right there. There's great transportation here in Seattle. The last mayor of 2025, who's, if you ever think about government, it's sort of still kind of influential mayor, when you think about it. But he got approved here in Washington many homes, and so in like a dating sense, what I would prefer watching on my television, they have a AI television they sell at Best Buy that I want to buy. Just a second, I'm going to flip this camera to look at this sign real quick. So, owned and operated by Link Parks, warehouse office space available, 600 to 1,000 square feet, 425-629-8759. Wow, that looks great. Great apartments, Goodwill's there if you ever need under $5 clothing or so, like dope clothing, that means cool clothing. Arby's is dope. Great Tesla, great Tesla 2026 car right there. Dope e-bike and outfit right there, with the chain, with the shoes. Okay, guys, here's the deal though. In 2026, this is what the updates are. You need waterproof everything, if designers, I've been trying to network and reach out to many people like many people do. Some of the top, and I'll get to my movies in a second. I have all of them, I did movie kind of channel videos on my channel, guys. So, I did really, I've already kind of given my movie preferences. I have movies that I've done, like review movies that I like on my library of channels, like other people. And so that's like an update of 2026 right there. You gotta have, a live stream kind of camera thing going on, guys. That's the updates. AI is like the thing that, comes in all the updates these days. Artificial intelligence. And then in Washington, you need waterproof everything. And when you have to always never reject any product or service kind of in any way if you want to stay on the earth, that's also an update, like with artificial intelligence that I know as Ben Ross, 2026. And so when you're outside, you waterproof all your clothing, when you're walking, or you waterproof your car, These are things that I've been thinking about on my little vision quest type of, cool walking and kind of exercise that I do. And so, And so many people do walking videos. My channel, guys, should have about 50,000 views every single day. I mean every day, because there's a Jerusalem video, you know, and he shows real life people that he's walking by, just crowds. And like, he does these walking videos in Israel, you know, Jerusalem. And he shows all the great parts of Jerusalem, you know, and I watched that. I watched Seattle ones. There's a great drive to Idaho. And this is where I thought of vending machines on a trip to actually Arizona. Like, Las Vegas is great, guys, but it needs EdenYE.com updates, yo. I'm telling you. So yeah, hi. I'm non-consensual, non-violent. Thank you. And so anyway, you know, I'm Ben Ross, only staying in America, you know, okay? And so I have a friend in Mexico named Ishmael. You know, if he's still there, yo, his mom is here and he's, you know, probably fine, but I'm just giving you a record like he is too. You know, we're leading kind of like a, I don't know, an online kind of thing of connecting, you know, kind of good companies to, you know, great services. And, you know, starting online should be one of the best things. And so my current movie preferences are, I've been watching The Ark. It's kind of a 2023 kind of International Space Research Center type of movie of 2023 on AmazonPrime.com. And I've been watching that one a little bit. And then I've been watching kind of a fixer-upper with Chip and Joanna Gaines. You know, I like walking around like Target. Target has a lot of fixer-upper, Chip and Joanna Gaines, you know, combos. So yeah, here's Red Robin Gourmet Burgers, entering the city of Webben, Washington, incorporated 1912. So yeah, you know, Bellevue's Children's Academy, you know. So this is where I was saying, like, to that restaurant right there, yo, you know, by Bank of America, you know, the Thai one. You know, always say, you know, non-violent, consensual. You know, like, that's what you are, and like your sign language kind of like language, you know. Anyway, wow. I was kind of like you know when it's like in a movie where you're like, I gotta get home fast, yo. Just fast, you know? Yeah, right. I mean, I made it big, been wrong. This is how stupid guys. Everyone in Washington, dude, if they ever think like, what's wrong with me? They say it's in the buses, yo. The buses. The Fetty is just in the air, yo. That's the news update for 2026, yo. They say it's just runs through the air, dude. And the weed. So yeah, the bus be speaking, yo. The bus be speaking in Seattle, yo. I swear, you know? I swear. So yeah. So yeah, I'm in Redmond, going to Taco Bell.